And we are live, everybody. This is Nomad. And yes, I have Jensen here with me. Say hello to the folks, Jensen.
To the folks, Jensen.
You can blame many of these stories on Jensen. Well, actually, you can only blame one thing on Jensen. We'll get to that.
Are you suggesting that it's my fault for the cake story? I don't know what you mean, sir.
We will talk. We will discuss this. Let's get started, shall we? China warns U.S. a dangerous situation is forming over Taiwan. Okay, how's a dangerous situation forming?
Actually, that's not the right question. The correct question is who is it dangerous for?
Well, I'm just curious. How do you assess that there's a dangerous a dangerous situation forming? Okay. A dangerous situation is forming. Isn't it already there? Has anything changed?
You would think this, yes, I agree.
Nothing's changed, right? China's top diplomat again warned the U.S. over its increased support for Taiwan, showing the island's democracy remains a major sticking point between the world's biggest economies as Beijing sent more military aircraft toward the island. If the U.S. side insists on playing the Taiwan card and goes further and further down the wrong road, it will certainly lead to a dangerous situation, said Yang Chi.
Yeah, whatever. Fine.
Beijing's top diplomat said in a phone call with National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan. Really? Yang said Washington should have a clear understanding of the situation, according to a statement posted online by his nation's foreign ministry. China will certainly take firm action to safeguard its sovereignty and security interests. China has been busy watching how Russia is handling the Ukraine and thinks that the situation is the same, right? You know, Russia, Ukraine, the world's response.
Or things like that.
Right?
Yeah.
And China's response with Taiwan. It's the same thing to them, right?
Yeah.
No. It's not even close. Y'all know it, right? Y'all Chinese know it. And I'll be real blunt with you. I would put in a freaking massive number of freaking... I wouldn't say anything to China. I would just do it. I would land like, I don't know, 60 or 70 freaking Patriot batteries and say, have at it.
Bring it.
Bring it.
Eh?
Right? And the first thing I would sit up there and do, to be honest, is I would... Seriously, it wouldn't take much. Build a mock-up of a Chinese carrier, right? Have it floating off the coast where they can see it, and use it for target practice and an exercise. That's not provocative or anything, is it?
Nah.
That wouldn't send the right message, would it? I mean,
it'd be something.
I think it would be pretty effective, right? You just float a freaking carrier lookalike and you sink it with U.S. jets, all right? And then you float another one, have it torpedoed by Japanese subs, okay? I think it would send the message you need, right?
Can I make it just a little bit worse for you? What you do is you have it crewed with an absolute horde of Winnie the Pooh dummies. Just as an ultimate screw you to Xi Jinping. What do we think?
Yeah, just a little Pooh Bear on the top.
Yes. I mean, come on. If you're going to do it properly. Go big or go home. Come on.
Yeah, China, you have no idea. If you think the U.S. and Russia are militarily the same, and you're watching the United States, let's be honest, you're watching the rest of the Western militaries laughing at Russia right now. They shouldn't, but they are, right?
Yeah.
And you think you can sit up there and do this? You think you could handle this? Oh, don't worry, Sean. Don't worry, Amber will be on the list. Amber's on the list of stories today. But we're starting with China. And I know why everyone fears China. But they're fearing the wrong thing. I'm not afraid of China. You know why? You want to know why I'm not afraid of China?
Go on.
Here, let me get this in nice and close. Let me get the microphone right over close to me. Do y'all want to know why I'm not afraid of China? Because I'm not afraid of killing 100 million people. If that's what it takes to secure freedom. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
There's the difference between most of you, all right, in the wonderful world of, oh, we can't commit genocide, oh, the civilian world, and people like me. Right? Now, this sounds cold, it sounds callous, and in some ways it is. But if you don't understand what it's going to take to fight China, okay, we can beat China. China does not have the technical capability of beating us in a war. They don't. If we're willing to prosecute the war. Now, if we're afraid of doing things like we did in Iraq, okay, if we're going to do, if we're going to be crying, oh my God, we killed all the civilians. If that's your frickin' standard, go home. Because you don't understand what a frickin' civilian is, and you don't understand, all right, what war is.
Just so you know, from Miss Murder, she's put genocide. You have my attention.
It's not genocide. I'm willing to stop as soon as they surrender. Okay?
Oh, come on. You could have made that so much nastier. It's not genocide. It's pest control. Because that's a nice and subtle version.
You British, that's how you refer to everything.
What? What?
You guys treat your opponents, all right, as vermin. You don't treat them as humans. I'm willing to treat them as humans when they surrender.
Well, this is where you're getting it wrong, mate, okay? You're assuming that the enemy have human rights. If you take away their human rights, then you can do whatever you like to them because they're not human.
I realize that that's your stance, but the rest of the world is not France, okay? The rest of the world's not Paris.
Yeah, we're just making sure that they're not France. We're trying to save them from themselves in case France invades them or something. At least that's what we keep saying.
On to the second story in China today. The black box on the doomed China Eastern flight indicates the crash was intentional.
No. Really?
The China Eastern jet that crashed and killed 132 people when the craft slammed into a mountainside. It didn't slam into the mountainside. Look at this. It lawn darted in. This is not a crash into a mountainside, okay? This is a lawn
impaling damage. Yeah?
All right. Pushed the 737-800 into a flight data from the doomed plane suggests that someone in the cockpit pushed the Boeing 737-800 into a near vertical descent while cruising at high altitude in late March. The data from the black box recovered from the crash site near the city of Wuzhou, all right, in the southern province of Guangxi, indicate that the controls in the cockpit led the plane into its deadly dive, sources told the newspaper. The plane did what it was told to do by someone in the cockpit. So, why didn't you tell me that, Jensen, that Republicans had gotten into the cockpit as terrorists and tried to killed a bunch of freaking, white supremacists, took over the plane and rammed it into the ground, right? Isn't that what occurred?
I'm surprised. I am shocked they haven't tried to blame Trump for it yet. I really am.
It was white supremacy.
This was going on.
Okay, it was white supremacy.
Yeah, man. We heard Kunta Kunte was on there, so we went for him.
Oh, okay.
That's what I reckon. What? Oh, should I have not said that? Whoops.
Oh, obviously, there was. We don't know what this was. Aside from a guy who's somebody was obviously brain addled, all right, and decided to take millions of people with him when he went. Okay.
Yeah.
We don't know why. We don't know how. Okay, but it's obviously somebody's, which explains why China didn't want anyone around, because they knew what had happened. I have a feeling that somebody was already informing people on that plane what was going on, and China was just like, nope, never heard of it.
I would just like to point out, I still disagree with you. I still think that there was someone on that plane that they wanted removed. Okay, this was an assassination attempt, in my opinion.
Yeah, but it's a murder-suicide assassination attempt.
So, the pilot gets told, you do this, you cause this person to die, your family gets looked after. If you don't, we'll kill them all, and then we'll kill you. Oh, okay then. So, I'm dead anyway, but at least this way my family gets money. Yeah, no problem. Crash.
Yeah, no, that's a possibility. Can't deny that. So, does this have your attention yet, Ms. Murder? We're going on a subject that you're going to find kind of boring. Yeah, cat girls. Anyway, on to the next story. U.S. lawmakers urge binding vote on Puerto Rico statehood. Now, the first thing that came to mind was something that Jensen spewed as soon as I read the story to him initially. He said, about friggin' time, which was my point. All right? The Dems are doing something right. This is what I believed for about 30 seconds until I read the story. A group of Democratic Congress members, including the House Majority Leader, on Thursday proposed a binding plebiscite to decide whether Puerto Rico should become a state or gain some sort of independence. No problem. Actually, I kind of like this. The draft proposal unveiled at an online news conference would commit Congress to accepting Puerto Rico into the United States if the voters... No, stop right there. Okay? There's where we start to have the problem. You're saying we're going to bring these people in immediately as a state. No, we get to vote on this as people, right? So even if the plan were to pass the Democratic-led House, the proposal appears to have little chance in the Senate, where Republicans have long opposed statehood. I don't think that Republicans have opposed statehood for Puerto Rico. And this is where the problems begin. The problem with bringing Puerto Rico into the United States is the fact that Puerto Rico is a corrupt, failed area. These people are just... They're not even third world. Okay? You gotta come up from third world to get to... This is Venezuela. It's like shit.
So, dude, what you're saying is this. You got too many places like that already. I mean, you only need Baltimore. I mean, come on. That's bad enough, isn't it?
Oh no, I'm at half-mast. All right, there you go. There you go, Miss Murder. you can be a little bit happier now. All right. And I might be loose for Ms. Murder. Now, back to the thing. The problem with this is like, look, I'm actually all for having Puerto Rico come as a state. I really am. I really don't. I really think that we need to tell them, look, shit or get off the pot. Okay?
Yeah.
I really do believe that. Have them ask us formally for statehood. I don't think, however, binding other Congresses to allowing them to become a state when you're no longer there is the way to do this, number one. And number two is, if they're going to become a state, they have to end the corrupt nature that runs that entire island right now. But we should force a plebiscite and say, look, you guys either vote yay or nay that you're going to stay in. But the reality is, if you vote nay to statehood, bye-bye. You're now an independent country. And that's what we should do. That's my personal point of view.
Can I now give you a reason why you shouldn't allow them to join?
Sure.
Yeah? Okay. You guys are going to have to remake your bloody flag again if you do.
We'll just have to put in a star. It's not that difficult.
That... No. No. For one, you'll have to change your icon because there ain't enough stars on there. Two, you're going to have to go to every single state that sells flags of the US and change the flags.
So?
Then you're going to have to go to all the military bases. All the military bases.
This is the United
overseas.
States. That is not a big deal for us. It's not like we haven't been doing that since the founding of the nation, Jensen.
Yeah, but dude, it was like the last time you guys tweaked it was 1948. It's been a while, okay? It's it's like 80 odd years. Okay.
I'm not concerned. I think we can handle it as a nation. I think changing our flag it won't be a big issue. If you haven't noticed, Jensen, we change flags in the nation all the time. State flags change all the time in this nation.
Can I make a suggestion to you?
What?
Kick out California and put in Puerto Rico. It's damn sight less corrupt than California. Am I wrong?
Would help if the states were united. No, you're not wrong, Sean. You're not wrong.
Mm-hmm. Just trying to save your country money, that's all. See?
Scalpers are selling Depp and Heard court access on the black market. We haven't heard enough. Ho ho, ha ha. What a witticism. Fans desperate for access to the Fairfax, Virginia courtroom where Johnny Depp and Amber Heard are locked in a heated defamation trial have been forking over thousands for a coveted seat. But now they're even buying from scalpers on the black market, according to TMZ. Court officials have limited the number of wristbands to hand out, 100 for the main courtroom and an additional 100 to 150 for the overflow room. Yet many fans don't make the cut. No shit. It's only 200 people. TMZ reported that people have engaged in screaming matches if others cut them in line, or even if there's a black market, or even that there's a black market for wristbands where people are offering cash to buy a front row seat. It's a freaking sporting event. People in a divorce, nasty divorce settlement / defamation case. It's entertainment for people, folks.
You wonder why the judicial thing of your country is considered a joke because you do something like this. I realise the two are different, but
we're not
doing
man. This is just happening in the United States. We're not doing it.
It's not happening over here.
Oh,
I can tell you that.
That's because you guys don't even allow the press into these hearings. You guys have a thing about, it's a trial, all right? You guys stay on the other side. You can't even record what actually happened in the trial. We have to be told after the fact.
So what you're saying is we don't let the corrupt, manipulating media in. No, you're right. I can't see why that could be considered a bad
we
thing.
don't let the corrupt, evil media and I can't deny that the media is not corrupt. No, we have to live up to what the words were from the wonderfully pristine, honest to God, all right, salt of the earth public officials to do it for us, right, Jensen?
You got a choice. Which one do you want to believe, the media or the public officials?
At least
both are bad.
Some of the media aren't these loons. Granted, it's not a lot of them, but at least some of them.
Name two. Go on.
What'd you say?
Name 2 of the media that aren't corrupt loons. I
Okay.
bet you won't actually have as easy a time as you think.
Oh, really? You don't think so? I think the hard bastard is not one of these left wing loons, right?
Uh, is he part of mainstream media?
Oh, you want mainstream media folks only?
Yes.
Well, see, now you're narrowing the field down.
Not really. You know full damn
you're really
well.
cutting the field down a little bit. I think Brit Hume is one, right?
Eh?
And I think Steve Ducey would be another one,
Okay. All right. I'll accept
or
that
Peter
then.
Ducey rather. But,
But
those would be the
think
only.
about this.
Those would be the only two that would be on the list. To be honest.
That's the point. That's 2.
Right. And both of them basically report to Fox News, which puts it to a different level. But it amazes me that these people are, going out here, and then these people are not. You take a look at these. Take a look at this. It's this is ridiculous. These look at them all. We love you and stand with you, JD. I go, Johnny Depp. Look. I'm going to be real blunt here, okay? Do I believe that Johnny Depp at some point balled his fist and smacked Amber Heard around? Do I believe that could have happened? Do I believe that this did happen? I'm going to be real blunt with you. I actually believe it did happen at some point. I don't think it was. I don't think there would have been any other way to do it. How the hell could you live with that? Okay? Do I believe that Amber Heard beat the hell out of Johnny Depp a lot? Yeah, I do. Okay? I don't think there's any good people in here. Or am I missing something?
No, I agree.
It says
The thing to remember is this, okay, with that whole crap that's going on about the bruise that was on her face. It's not like either of them were in a job where they would actually know how to put bruises on their faces using makeup. I mean, they'd need to be Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Well, we know that both of these people are actors, right? Now, I'll be honest with you. After watching some of these things, I think that Amber Heard is a better actor. I really do. Because some of the performances she's put on have been astounding.
This is a fair statement, and I'm saying this next thing as someone who has been clinically diagnosed as a sociopath. She is a good little sociopath, isn't she? Have you seen her?
I mean, it's amazing.
I am quite impressed, I've got to say.
Right. I mean, it's her ability to act with this it is amazing. All right. I honestly believe that she did most of the things that Johnny Depp accused her of. I don't think that much of what she's accusing Johnny Depp of doing happened. Does that mean that I don't believe that Johnny Depp couldn't have balled his fist and smacked her around? No, I believe that could have happened as well.
Yeah.
Okay. But in a he said, she said kind of situation, it is what it is.
Yep.
Just putting it out there.
I agree with you, mate.
All right. Undefeated boxer Musa Azkan Yamak dies of a heart attack during a fight. The undefeated German boxer Musa Azkan Yamak died after suffering a heart attack, according to a Turkish official. The 38-year-old fighter died after collapsing in the ring on Saturday while facing Ugandan veteran Hamza Wandera in Munich, Germany, according to published reports. We lost our compatriot Musa Azkan Yamak, a boxer from Alukra, right, who won European and Asian championships at a young age after a heart attack. Now, that would suck, okay? You're out there fighting some guy, he falls and dies of a heart attack.
Oh, that's ruined. I mean, don't get me wrong. I feel bad for the guy who's died. I really do. But can you imagine the horror that would have caused the bloke who was fighting him?
Well,
that is going to screw his
yeah,
career up,
that's the
I feel.
thing is in a boxing match like this and something like that, if you're not literally, I mean, you amp yourself up into these kind of things, right? To fight,
Yeah,
right? And you go in with the mental attitude of I got to rip this guy apart, right? I've got to kill this
yeah.
guy. I'm going to try and smack him as hard as I absolutely can, and I'm going to keep swinging until somebody pulls me off him. Which is why when the bell rings, half the time you still see these people throwing punches,
Oh, yeah.
right? Because it isn't a sporting event at that point. Not to the contestants. It's a fight.
No,
That's why they call it a fight,
funnily enough. Yeah.
right? It surprises me that this doesn't. He died, but won the match.
That's cold. I like it. The ref, he was the last one standing.
Well, I mean, what do you say? He threw in the towel. I mean, if you're really gonna get morbid about this,
No, actually, that was a technical knockout. Let's be honest, the guy didn't stand back up after being knocked down, did he?
yeah, it's unfortunate. All right, now that this guy hadn't had a lot of fights professionally, right? The thing about all this stuff is these guys they do things to fight, all right, that are not good for you.
Yeah.
Okay, because in these kind of professional fights, you have how do I put this? You have weight restrictions and all these other restrictions put on you, right? And to make some of these weights to make down, they got to basically starve themselves. There are drugs, obviously, that get involved in this kind of stuff. Did the rough do a count before or after he fell? Sean's just like, I'm really curious to see how this turned out.
Yeah, $20 on it. That's the problem.
It's not the reason I did the story. It's just that these things. The thing is when you talk about professional athletes, one of the problems with professional athletes is they have very little in common with you and me as far as the average person, right, and the average body, right? They are
Yep.
getting down to where they have very little fat because it impedes their ability to do things. The problem is having fat is a natural consequence of being a human, and there's reasons for it because your body needs these reserves, number one. And
Yep.
what's even worse, and let's be perfectly honest here, with professional athletes, there's always people that are on the edges and that are, willing to game the system, whether through drugs, doping, whatever, right? So they take risks with their lives in these things, right? You get into a boxing match, you're already taking a risk with your life to begin with,
Yeah.
That's the other thing. I don't think people understand what it's like that. It's unfortunate that this happened for this guy, right? And you're right. The guy who was in the ring with him, if he's just a regular competitor, right, this is going to mess him up. Now, if it was somebody like, I don't know, Mike Tyson, he probably wouldn't bother him a whole lot because Mike Tyson's mean. Mike Tyson comes from a different world, Not saying anything against Mike, but he's from a
Are
different
you
world.
saying that Mike Tyson isn't a cuddly giant of a guy that we all believe him to be? Oh, terrible.
There's a difference between a fight with fists and trying to chew off your opponent's ear. Okay? Just point it
I
out.
realised that there was a third weapon, his teeth. That's
Right.
all.
I realize that he's closer on your level, Jensen.
He was hungry. What's the problem? Right, hold it. No. You were pointing out about people and losing weight. See, Tyson was actually trying to get some weight back, and you're complaining. Ah,
He was just hungry for
Never
the
happy.
starvation diet, is what you're saying.
yeah. You're just never happy, dude. Come on.
All right, back to Jensen. Calm Jensen down with a few cat girls. Put a cat girl on the scene for Jensen.
Am I that easy to control?
Well, no, it gives me a good segue into the next thing. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a new gender. This, ladies and gentlemen, is what they call cake gender.
He's not joking.
Now, Jensen had to find the cake gender.
Yeah, this one's my fault. I'll actually accept the blame for this one.
The cake gender reveal. Now, these things were like gender reveal cakes, right? Where basically they, instead of blowing up Tannerite and trying to kill one another in half the neighborhood, people figured out that that's probably a bad thing. So now they do these quote unquote gender reveal cakes, right? Where whether is it a boy or is it a girl? I'm trying to know though which color is, attack helicopter. Just put it on there. But Jensen, in his infinite wisdom, had to find a YouTube channel where a woman was discussing that there's cake gender, which is soft and warm and sweet and layered.
And fluffy. Don't forget fluffy.
All right. So if you're soft and sweet and fluffy and layered, you're not a man. You're not a woman. You're a cake. Now, if you're sweet and layered and cold as ice, well, you're a parfait. Kind of like Jensen.
By the way, we're not joking about this cake gender, okay? I realise how stupid it sounds, but it is actually true.
Cake gender. Unless, of course, you're German chocolate, because then it's a Nazi cake.
Oof.
Am I wrong?
No, that's the problem.
Time to talk about Musk. A SpaceX flight attendant said Elon Musk exposed himself and propositioned her for sex. Documents show the company paid $250,000 for her silence. Okay? Now, the flight attendant, all right, for SpaceX said Elon Musk asked her to do more during a massage, document shows. A massage? There are flight attendant masseuses out there. How do you get hired as a flight attendant masseuse? Jensen, can you describe this to me?
Am I allowed to start making the jokes about he asked her to play with his joystick and things like that, or should I not make
Well,
these
apparently
jokes
he
here?
got a hard-on. And he asked her to rub it out for him. Now, this sounds awfully familiar to what's happening to one Deshaun Watson, all right, a quarterback for the now Cleveland Browns, but former quarterback of the Houston Texans, all right, and the 20 women who are suing him for sexual harassment. But he was going to massage parlors. Has Elon Musk already put up a space station that we don't know about? Has his plan to Mars already succeeded and he's going back and forth? What the hell did I miss?
Makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Now, why is this story coming out? We all know why this story's coming out, right? Basically, somebody sit up there and claimed something, and just to make it go away, somebody said, fine, here's money, go away, bitch. Right? And these things will always come back to bite you. Now, in this specific story, the woman the alleged victim did not come forward. It was supposedly one of her friends.
Mm.
All right, and I've been on a lot of commercial flights. Just to let you know, I've never had a flight attendant walk up and down the aisle going, coffee, tea, back rub. I've never had that happen. And believe it or not, I've actually flown first class several times. Right? Because when you fly a lot, you can get upgrades. They're, for frequent flyers, they give these guys free upgrades. All right? And when I was flying damn near every week, I was on the frequent flyer programs. Right?
I have heard if you, I have heard if you fly out of West Hollywood Airport, they go tea, coffee, hand job. But just saying.
I have flown in and out of LAX and through several of the Orange County airports. I've never had that happen, Jensen.
You're obviously on the wrong flights, mate. What can I say?
I'm just, and to be quite frank, right? There are plenty of flight attendants that are cute. And there are plenty of them that you want to give Alpo to. Okay? Gonna be real blunt. Here, Fido, go catch. Here's your biscuit. All right? There's some good-looking flight attendants, but not all flight attendants are good-looking.
Oh, no.
And the male flight attendants, in some cases, the male flight attendants are
better.
well, are more interesting from a feminine wild study standpoint. Let's put it like that.
Fair.
I have yet to have one of them go, "Hi, my name's John. How's it going?" Those are not the male flight attendants you find on flights. Yeah, I used to be a trucker. See the tattoo? It says Mom. No, I haven't seen any of those guys. And I will say this is another thing that they do with flight attendants, which is just ridiculous. They go out of their way to ensure the flight attendants are as freaking thin as possible. Right?
Yeah.
Now, that's okay. I understand why they do it to a point, but they go overboard. They really do. Some of these airlines go way overboard. Right? They want them in stick figures. Right? They want them to look like Twiggy.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate. But this whole thing was a hit job. This whole thing is a hit job against Elon Musk because he dared to say, "I'm voting Republican." Basically, when he said that, he frickin' just caused all sorts of holy hell on social media. People went berserk.
Yep.
And I'm just like, whatever. All right? The thing is these people like Elon Musk in the celebrity elite class and the political elite class, let me tell you something right now. They don't have any reference to you. They have nothing in common with you. They have nothing in common with me. They can't even conceive, all right, of a life not the way they live it. Right? And it's important that you understand that the vast majority of our supposed elected representatives have literally nothing in common with you. Even Elon Musk, and I've mentioned this before, for all the people that go out there and champion Elon Musk, I'm not a champion of Elon Musk. Now, I don't care if he buys Twitter. If he buys Twitter and fixes their Marxist philosophies, great. I wasn't holding my breath that he would do it, even if he does buy Twitter. Am I enjoying do I have Schadenfreude over watching these Twitter people squeal like stuck pigs? Well, okay, yeah. Right? Because I think they're squealing for no reason in some cases, to be honest. But it is fun to watch. I can't deny that. Right? But Elon Musk is not... he's not the grand savior any more than Trump was the grand savior. There are things that Trump did that I like, and there's a lot of things that Trump did that I didn't like. And I don't think I was shy. Was I shy? Was I shy about pointing that out, Jensen?
You may have mentioned it. I think it's distinctly possible that you dropped a subtle hint. Maybe people spotted it, maybe they didn't.
I think me and subtlety are not the same thing, don't you? I don't think if people start looking through the dictionary and go subtle, oh, there's a picture of Nomad. I don't think that's going to happen.
This is a possibility, yes.
They may see Jensen there. Might be a
Course,
portrait of
I'm
him
very-
getting harpooned by B, but not sure how it's going to work. Anyway, speaking of Jensen, speaking of you, care to explain?
I've got nothing to do with it, what you're about to talk about. I admit.
Sexual allegations draw eyes to sleaze in Boris Johnson's party. Is there not sleaze in every governmental party? Did I miss something here, Jensen? Are you going to tell me? Are you telling me right now that the party of Jeremy Corbyn was free of sleaze?
Not even vaguely. But the Conservative Party has got more connection to sleaze than basically anything you can think of on your side of the pond, okay? The Conservatives are famous.
That sounds like a hold my beer.
Sorry, dude. You're not gonna win on this one, okay?
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, the reported arrest of in the UK of a Conservative member of Parliament over allegations of rape and sexual assault spanning 7 years is drawing renewed attention. Now, we'll stop right there.
Mm-hmm.
How does this happen or span 7 years?
She was too scared to speak. I hope you noticed the way that was said.
Uh-huh. But when he has more power, then all of a sudden her courage and dander came up? When he could do more to ruin her life, then all of a sudden she found her courage?
Particularly when it was found out that he had money to play with, yeah.
I'm just putting it out there. London police said that an unnamed man in his 50s was detained on suspicion of indecent assault, abuse of position of trust, and misconduct in public office. The individual who police declined to confirm is an MP, all right, has since been released on bail. The office of Tory Chief Whip Chris Heaton Harris, in charge of the party's management, said he'd urged the MP to stay away from Westminster while an investigation takes place. Still, the Conservatives haven't yet suspended the MP, meaning he remains a member of Parliament, all right, and could theoretically vote on legislation.
Yes.
Is this the same guy that was watching porn
No.
on his cell phone?
Theoretically, the answer to that is no. But to say that the British government has got one or two problems when it comes to its political side is an understatement, to say the least. It's depressing, it really is.
She didn't come over to New York, or he didn't come over to New York. We don't even know if it's a he or she, actually. Now that I think about it. OnlyFans star claims she had sex with Meta workers to resolve Instagram ban.
I'm shocked.
An OnlyFans creator who was blocked on Instagram claims to have devised a salacious way to get her account restored, having sex with Meta, formerly known as Facebook, employees. The amateur pornographer, known as Kitty Lixo on Instagram and OnlyFans, dropped the scandalous allegation on the No Jumper podcast. What the hell?
Wow.
What the hell? What do you mean no jumper? No Jumper podcast, huh?
Yes.
Is that No Jump Her or No Jumper?
I think it's literally... You'll probably find that she starts wearing a jumper and underneath it is a bikini or bra. Or at least I'm hoping there's that much. It's
Yeah,
quite
okay.
possible she takes the jumper off and there's bugger all under it.
All you have to do is have someone really, really like you, the skin fluencer, explained in the segment.
Yeah.
All right, which podcast host Adam John Grand Mason, all right, recently uploaded to Twitter, where it boasts more than 900,000 views in the shocking clip captioned "How to Get Your Instagram Back." If it's deleted, Lixo claimed that she slept with multiple Meta workers after her Instagram account got shut down like 3 or 4 times. It's unclear if she's been flagged for what she's been flagged for, but the adult entertainer frequently linked her OnlyFans account to the page. All right, the Daily Dot reported. Advertising porn sites is prohibited under Meta or Facebook's community guidelines. Isn't Facebook a porn site? I mean, am I missing something?
When you work on the idea of if you know what you're doing, you actually go hunting on YouTube and Facebook and that lot, you can find
Jensen,
things that makes most porn sites look good.
This
Okay.
looks like take a look at her pictures. Is this someone? This is not someone that appeals to me, right?
Eh?
All right. This looks like it's freaking Japanese hentai.
Yep.
I mean, that's all I could think of.
Yeah, you want to see what's on a t-shirt, because I'm not saying that out loud. I don't care.
Girls Gone Wireless?
No. On the go back up to that first picture and read the t-shirt.
Sepro? What's that?
Looking for stepbrother.
Oh my god.
Yep. I did not want to read that.
Just so people know what you're referring to.
All I'm going to say is, Oni-chan? Oni-chan?
Oh god.
That's why I didn't want to say it.
Senpai time. Pennsylvania teacher busted for a sexual relationship with student after husband alerts the principal. Hey, dumbass! Why did you alert the principal and not the cops? Alright, I'm just putting it out there. Just saying. A married Pennsylvania high school choir director was arrested for a sexual relationship with a female student after her irate husband alerted administrators, according to reports. Olivia Orts, 26, was taken into custody on Monday and hit with 2 counts of sexual activity with a 17-year-old student at the Wilmington area high school near Newcastle, News reported. Her husband, who did freelance work for the school's music department, found incriminating messages on Orts' iPad after coming home from a recent trip to Florida and told the principal. Now, Jensen, what do you think really happened here?
Well, based on the fact it's that school choir director, perhaps she asked the student to, I don't know, blow on her pipes. See if that made a difference.
Well,
Don't believe I just said that.
This is a female, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, she had a sexual relationship with another female student, right?
Hold it. Are you a biologist? You're using the term female.
Female.
Often, yeah?
Did I say women? No, I said female. All right. With the husband now.
Yeah.
Why do I have the feeling that he's pissed off because he asked for a menage a trois?
Yeah,
And she said no. Doesn't that seem like this is what happened?
it does.
All right,
Yeah.
now just put it out there. Acting on tips from Ortiz's husband, investigators found more than 100 messages between the choir leader and her female student using Spotify's chat function. Folks! Oh, joy.
Mhm.
Yes, Sixer, the gender cake issue. If you are on social media, if you're communicating on social media, all right, with somebody else, you have to understand you are communicating in a public forum. You might as well be standing out with a microphone and bleeding out whatever you're talking about. Okay?
Yep.
So if you expect this to be made confidential with two individuals and you're on social media, you're an idiot. All right?
Yep.
Just, you're an idiot. The authorities said that they interviewed the teen and her parents on May 15th after executing a conclusive search warrant. The teen defiantly told them that the pair were still communicating despite looming criminal charges. When you're caught by the police, it might be a good idea to stop floating the victim. Just put it out there.
Nah, can't see why that would be real.
Why are there so many stupid people in the world? And you think we're done. Well, folks, we're just getting started. Stripper tumbled from the balcony in a lap dance mishap. A Cleveland stripper was gravely injured early today when she plunged 15 feet while reportedly trying to complete some sort of jump/dance move while giving a lap dance to a customer, police reported. Lauren Block, 22, tumbled from the second floor of Christie's Cabaret around 1 a.m., according to a Cleveland Police Department report. Block, seen at the right, for those who don't know what the right is, it's right here, right, fell headfirst over a rail and suffered major head trauma. That's unfortunate, right? I mean, for anybody. Right? And
Yeah.
officers initially thought that Block may have been thrown off the club's balcony, but they subsequently determined that it was a bizarre accident. How? Now, how would you determine if this was a bizarre accident or not?
Now,
They're
more
not
point,
tossed.
okay, it doesn't mention the fact that directly below where she fell from, there was a virgin sitting there watching the other strippers going, please God, drop one in my lap. Please God, please. Oh crap, it's real. Okay, that's what happened, I reckon.
All right. Witnesses told police that after Block fell, two unknown males fled the bar while cops were trying to locate the possible suspects. Storino spoke to officers and said that they were on the second floor and he was receiving a lap dance. When the incident occurred. Police are not continuing to investigate the mishap. Block is pictured above in a Halloween 2012 photo showing her dressed as a Hooters waitress. Now stop right here. Okay? Stop the presses here. Okay? This is the woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Am I missing something here?
Well, I love the fact that that's supposed to be a Halloween outfit. I mean, let's be honest, she's wearing damn something more than she does when she goes to work. Just saying, okay?
All right.
I'm not wrong.
Well, I mean, it would give a new impression for the Hooters franchise, now wouldn't it?
The question is, okay, and this is going to get me... I'm going to go to hell for this statement. If she landed front first, does she actually count as extra padding?
I don't know. I don't know. I feel sorry for somebody that falls and everything else. But what I'm
Yeah.
thinking though is the reason the police didn't continue the pursuit, right, of this
Mm-hmm.
not being an accident is somebody came out with a camera,
Yep.
right, and they had this on film, which makes me think that this place has a secondary business of I don't know, blackmail.
You know what you're talking about, Governor. Yep.
Yeah, I'm sure you have no idea what I possibly could be referring to, right, Jensen?
Not a clue. I'm innocent, me.
I'm just put it out there, right? I couldn't be wrong about this, could I?
Here's a possibility you are correct, yes.
Yeah, okay. Still not done. Wife beat hubby over porn pleasure session. May 16th, a Florida woman is facing felony charges for allegedly beating her husband with a belt after she caught him watching pornography on his cell phone and masturbating.
Again, Florida. Just saying.
You sure this wasn't like, oh, I don't know, Parliament? Do you see the difference?
Yeah.
Angelina Davis, 30, was arrested Tuesday morning following a confrontation with a 51-year-old victim at their home in Summerfield in the Central Florida community. Davis's husband told the cops that he had gotten into an altercation with her after she interrupted his pleasure session. Victims say Davies became angry and asked to see his phone, and that he complied with her request.
Well, that's the first mistake.
After Davis discovered some sort of communication between the victim and someone on the website Reddit, all right, police reported a verbal altercation ensued. All right. Tip number 2 from Nomad. All right. If you're stupid enough to do shit like this on your phone, don't give it to your spouse.
True.
All right? I'm just putting it out there. Which goes to another problem for those people who don't understand this rule. When you have a spouse, she's already looked at your cell phone and does so constantly. This is what wives do, folks.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Don't believe otherwise. They will go through your wallet. They will go through everything. It's a natural instinct that they all have.
What you're saying here? Okay, I just want to make sure that we're both accurate with this. You're saying have a spare phone that she doesn't know about. This is what you're telling me.
All you're doing is set yourself up for failure when she asks, "What's that?" I'm just letting you know.
Fair.
All right. The dispute subsequently turned violent, cops charge, after Davis wrapped a leather belt with a large metal buckle around her fist. The victim told cops that when he took out his phone to dial 911, she knocked the device from his hand and struck him several times with the belt on his arms and his back.
Okay.
Was she screaming woohoo or yahoo or whoopee or was she random cowboy? Was she shouting anything like that when she's doing this?
Call me mistress.
I'm just asking. The patrolman reported observing several red marks on the back of the victim, as well as a large raised red lump on the man's arm that had a very good detail and appeared to be the buckle of the belt. When questioned by police, Davis confirmed that she found the victim watching pornography on his cell phone and masturbating, and that she had gotten upset.
Let's be honest, dude. The guy got lucky. She only smacked him around the face with the belt. Can you imagine if she'd have swung for the thing that upset her the most?
Well,
Okay, that would have winced. Okay, that's the moment you start thinking this isn't BDSM. Not anymore.
women upset with that, with finding something like that. No, we're not done with this. Day laborer forced to have sex at gunpoint. And unfortunately, this is in Arizona. An Arizona couple is charged with luring a day laborer, illegal immigrant, into their Phoenix home and forcing the man to have sex at gunpoint with the female suspect. You better rape my wife or I'm going to freaking shoot your ass.
Wow.
My God. Nobody wants her. Show her some love. Oh my God. To have sex couple with a female suspect, an assault that the male suspect described as a sexual fantasy scenario.
Yeah.
This is beyond cuckold. My God. I can just see Jensen right now is just sitting there with his mouth open, staring at the screen.
Yeah, actually, if you want to know, I was looking at that picture of and I use the term loosely here, woman, thinking, that doesn't look like Jada Pinkett Smith. Interesting. I went there. I actually said that.
All right, the victim told the cops that when he reached the residence, all right, Acuna Aguero began to talk sexual to him, and that he said it was her fantasy to have sex with a laborer, and she wanted to have sex with him. When the man declined to have sex, her husband, Jorge, entered the room carrying a rifle. Oh, this guy didn't even pull a pistol. He freaking pulled a freaking rifle on his ass. He placed the firearm against the victim's chest and told him that he was going to have sex with his wife or he was going to shoot you.
Wow.
How high did you get your husband? All right.
I don't know what to say to this. This is one actually is beyond me just taking the mickey out of now. It's a whole level of weird.
Oh my God. As alleged in the superior complaint, the victim engaged in a series of sexual activities with Acuna while Murrieta was taking pictures of them and recording them with his cell phone. According to the victim, all right, he directed him to move into different sexual positions. All right, before allowing the man to leave the residence, the couple took his Mexican visa and his driver's license, and which they said they would return the next day. If he did not show up for the next morning, the couple warned they would send explicit photos to his wife in Mexico. They told him that they would give him Viagra for the next day. Oh my God. All right, I think this is, you just shoot them both, cleanse them with fire, burn the apartment. Because bleach ain't gonna do it. Oh my God. During the police interview, Acuna Aguero reportedly confessed, admitting that she knew her husband was going to confront the victim with a rifle and that he was going to record the sexual encounter without the victim's consent. Murrieta Valenzuela, all right, admitted to participating in a sexual fantasy scenario with his wife, according to the complaint. He also reportedly confessed to wielding a rifle and threatening to send the explicit photos to the victim's spouse.
One good thing, at least they didn't misgender the guy. That could have been awkward.
Are you trying to say he wasn't a parfait? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, he was most definitely a jam donut. Let's be fair.
My God. But we don't live in a degenerate world at all. Right?
Yes.
You know, CSG doesn't think that there's all sorts of degeneracy. And there was a story that I could have done that's even worse than any of this.
Wow.
Okay? Just putting it out there. Just letting you all know there's a stories that are far worse than this one. Alright, final story of the day. Final story. Is Happy the zoo elephant legally a person? A court will decide. First of all, a court's going to decide this, really. Why is this going to court? Why didn't they just go, no, wrong, bang, and just kick it out? Why would you listen to this stupid shit?
Okay, all jokes aside now, okay, and I realise this has got an infinite series of piss takes that can go with it, but let's run with trying to be sensible here. If this actually goes through, then that means that other animals can be able to do this soon.
Yeah,
and it also means that very
it does
soon.
mean if this goes through, is an elephant legally a person? That's the central question in a case in New York. What a surprise. Highest court considered Wednesday in a dispute over the living quarters of Happy, an Asian elephant at the Bronx Zoo. The Non-Human Rights Project, an animal rights organization, argued that Happy is an autonomous, cognitively complex animal entitled to the same right of protection against unlawful imprisonment that people have.
Oh, God.
So we should let Happy roam free. Right? Is this what these idiots are saying? Happy should be allowed to roam free out on the streets of New York.
Horrific thought for you. You do realise if this actually goes through, then PETA is going to absolutely take the living piss out of this. You know that, right?
The zoo contends that the elephant is well cared for and that her holding is not illegal. What we are saying is she no, she's not a human, okay? What we're saying is that she has a right to bodily liberty and that makes her no longer a thing, said Stephen Wise, the president of the Non-Human Rights Project, all right, in an interview. She's a person. She's an animal, all right?
Yeah.
And if you think she's a person, how do you plan to take care of her? Are you telling me she deserves more rights, all right, than a human baby in a woman's womb?
Oh my God, I've worked it out, mate. They're doing this because they can get her to vote Democrat. You watch. It's the only way he's staying in if they get the animals to vote.
I'm not. It wouldn't surprise me if they did something like that. In the hearing, the 7-member New York State Court of Appeals asked attorneys for both parties about the definition of autonomy, how the elephant's bodily liberty could be achieved, and the potential effects of a decision that Happy should be moved. Maybe Happy is happy where she's at and doesn't want to be moved.
Yeah.
If you're forcibly moving her, you're removing her bodily autonomy, right?
This is true.
Yeah, why does this not surprise me? It's not. It's like in New York where this is going to court. All right. The Non-Human Rights Project also makes a practical argument. Happy is not, in fact, happy in captivity, the organization says. The group is seeking to move her from the zoo where she lived since 1977 to one of the country's 2 elephant sanctuaries where, the advocates say, that she would have more space and interaction with other elephants. Hey, dumbasses! Have you ever seen what happens when you try to do stuff like this? All right? Just put it out there. Have you seen what happens? Because normally what happens is the other animals that have been there as a group for a while, when a new one is introduced, they tend to kill them. They tend to beat them or ostracize them. I don't think Happy is going to be happy at the sanctuary. Go on, Jensen.
Just desperately trying not to make any jokes about Happy working at Walgreens as a greeter. I really am trying not to. Okay?
Happy, the Walmart greeter.
Exactly.
Actually, Elon Musk
Oh, God.
has hired her as a new masseuse for SpaceX. She'll have a job.
Oh, wow.
Fits right on in with his new Republican platform. When we talk about a happy ending, we're talking about a happy ending. Am I missing something?
Lord. I wish it was. It's just wrong on too many levels, even for me. And I would actually, under normal circumstances, be agreeing at the idea of, giving it a form of, humanity, and I use the term loosely, to animals. I mean, I think it's rather well known about me and cat girls, but that is just taking the piss on a whole new level.
I think that the I think that the situation here, right, is look, I'm not a person who believes in a lot of the nonsense of quote unquote animal rights. Never have been. Okay. Yeah. That doesn't mean that I don't believe that animals should be mistreated. Right. I have no problem with that. But I do have a problem with people like this that are simply trying to equate them with human beings.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? They're not. All right?
Agree.
Are elephants, especially Asian elephants, are they intelligent? Yes. All right? Are they they're intelligent for animals? Are they intelligent from a human being perspective? Not really. Okay, they are instinctual. They are a pack animal. I think it's unfortunate when people tend to take the animals away from the herd that they normally go within, especially females, right? That definitely are herd animals, right? Most male elephants are not herd elephants, right? But that's a separate situation, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But to make the kind of statement of saying, well, she deserves bodily autonomy. What the hell does that mean? Well, we want to move her over here. Well, then you're telling her where she has to live anyway. What the hell's the difference? Whether she's in this zoo or this wildlife sanctuary where you're locking her in, what the hell's the difference?
Okay.
Right?
You're not wrong, mate.
From a legal standpoint, it's just stupid. Now, do I believe that you got to be careful because when we talk about mistreatment of animals, yes, I do. Why? Because whether we like it or not, animals are not human beings.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's different levels of certain things that we cannot conceive of because we're not animals the way they are. And what I mean by that is simple things. The skin of an elephant is thick. Okay? Something that would cause a horrific wound to you won't even bother an elephant. Okay?
Sure.
Does that mean that you should be sticking freaking pins in elephants? No, I'm not saying that. I'm just trying to point out that this idea, like with dogs. Dogs have their skin on their around them is loose on their bodies. Why? Because when they get in fights with other animals, it's hard for them to get a grip to actually tear the internal tissues or the internal organs out. They're designed that way. Human beings and apes in general are not designed that way. The skin is tightly formed against the muscle. So when you rip the skin, you very quickly rip muscle and rip internal organs underneath. It's the way we're designed. So if you grab a dog by the scruff, the reason it doesn't hurt you, a dog while it'll kill a human has to do with their biology literally being different.
Yep.
And trying to amorphize these animals into human beings is dumb. Once again, I'm not saying that there shouldn't be laws to protect animals and to protect pets. That's not what I'm saying. But people take these things way too far. They really do.
Yeah.
Alrighty, that's all I've got for right now. Do you have anything else you want to bring aside from a gender reveal to this conversation?
Actually, just one tiny thing, and that is awesome work to CSG, and congratulations. I hope tomorrow works out well for him. I don't think we need to say any more for that one. Do you, mate?
No. Good luck to you, CSG. Hope you enjoy the
event,
your life and your events. So, take it easy, everybody. Thank you all for coming. Hope you all enjoyed it. I'll talk to you later. Bye, everybody.